Southwest Michigan's 97.5 Y Country. That is Carly Pierce, Ashley McBride. Never wanted to be that girl. I'm Matt Malone, and we are doing a conversation topic for you right now that is going to be one that I think is going to be probably one of my favorites that we've done here in a long time, because it is kind of hilarious in the sense that times change. It just proves that times change, and it changes pretty darn quickly, as even 2 years ago, our vocabulary has evolved and adapted and changed so much. So our question, what things do we say now that wouldn't make any sense 20 years ago? As an example, let's call him Uber. That's a great answer. And we went through a few responses already, but a couple others. Hashtag, that's what Sarah says. And Jim says, look at me. I'm an influencer. Yes, everybody seems like they're an influencer now these days, right? Don't they? So those are great answers. I appreciate that, Jim and Sarah, for joining the conversation that way. But we also have another response that isn't necessarily something that we say now, but it is something that, again, even with the new adapting technology and platforms, we'll say, it can be a little bit much and a little bit confusing at times. What's your answer?
When my mother-in-law was in her 80s and I would show her things I saw on Facebook, and she was amazed by it. And she would always tell all her friends who were in their 80s too about all the things I saw on Facebook.
Facebook, because it's out of this world. All the things you can find, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
hilarious.
she never ever said Facebook. It was always Facebook. And I would say, it's not Facebook, it's Facebook. But she always called it Facebook.
Did you ever try to like explain things like posting on walls or poking or any of that stuff to her?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Was she able to grasp that?
Happening.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, no.
What's so interesting, too, is with those folks who, again, were a little bit resistant to things like that. Those are people that are so active on Facebook now at this point. Like,
right.
And not that I, am poking fun by any means, but generally speaking, a lot of them don't use it the right way. Like
No, my dad, he's 77 and I got him Facebook, and he loves to get on there, and he will get on there every day. He spends a lot of time on there, but he just reads everything. He has no idea how to put anything on there himself.
That's like the equivalent of being in Facebook jail. Is just like you can see it, but you can't do anything. You can't touch anything. You can't comment. And all I want to do is just respond.
And that's how he is.
Oh,
we have family down south, and so the last 2 weekends he's called me and he's like, will you take some pictures of the snow and put them on Facebook so they can see them? And I'm like, Dad, you can do that.
No, I can't. Stop pressuring me. Anyways, all right. Great answer. I love that. I love that conversation, and I'd love for you to be able to join the conversation, just like Sue just did here, as we are on Facebook Live as well, Twitch, Instagram, and YouTube. She says, I'm going to order DoorDash. Yeah, DoorDash. I remember doing that when I was a kid, too, and the neighbors never caught us. You should have seen their faces. It was hilarious. It was Ding Dong DoorDash, right? Wasn't it? Wasn't that what it is? Anyways, great answer, Sue. I appreciate that. You can join the conversation. Join us 97.5 White Country, Facebook, Instagram. You also have Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, all those places. We're on there. We're streaming, and you can join the conversation asking, what is something that we say now that wouldn't make sense at all 20 years ago? All right. Great answers. We got some other good ones too while we're here, because in about 7 minutes or so. Be kind, rewind. I love that. I know, right? Thanks a lot, DVDs and Netflix. If I don't know something, I will say, whatchamacallit. Well, I agree. I think a lot of us do that. Zayden says that a lot. Whatchamacallit, which is also a really good candy bar too. But this is more so not knowing what to. We're thinking more sayings, right? Things that we say, comments that we say now that 20 years ago would make no sense. Like, oh, I'll just use Google Maps. Google Maps wasn't a thing 20 years ago, right? Google wasn't really a thing 20 years ago. it's funny, man, how so many things have changed. Going viral. What was that? 20 years ago, it wasn't a thing. My glasses are real dirty. Sorry. What other things do we have here? Look at me, I'm an influencer. That's good. I'm going to have Instacart have our groceries delivered to the house in an hour. Yeah. Insta who? Does that mean that's like to me when people say, "Oh, I'm going to Instacart." Like it kind of to me sounds like it's teleporting groceries to your house. Like do I have to have something here? Does it show up in the microwave? I don't know. I don't know how this works. Love that answer. Okay, so Tina, you gave us another answer, which is good, but you're going reverse. You're going things that we said back then that today wouldn't make any sense, which in that case, that makes sense. And even Sue's, be kind, rewind falls into that too. But we're saying, what do we say today, right now, today, in today's day and age, that if we were to say that same thing 20 years ago, people would be like, what in the hell is this person talking about? This makes no sense. Like flossing, doing a floss, like, oh, that person, their kids flossing, that's incredible. I can barely get my kid to brush his teeth, right? So that's kind of what we're talking about, things like that. Sue has another great answer. TikTok trends, yes. Oh, it's another trend on trending. Anything trending, honestly, anything trending. Twitter, any social media, any kind of trending, that falls perfectly aligned into that same part. What a different world. Like it's so crazy. Like this is fun and we laugh and we joke about these things, but it is really fascinating and insane to think about how everything has really transitioned and changed so much in 20 years. iPhones were not even a thing 20 years ago. Yeah, iPhones were not a thing. Smartphones really were not very much of a thing. Maybe a Palm Pilot, maybe a BlackBerry. We're starting, and these are like the big old clonking Blackberries too, with the roller on the side. A lot of you don't even know what that is. You might not have even been around for it. But this, something we use every day, was not a thing. It's amazing. What else do we say? Binge. Gonna binge watch that. That wasn't a thing. You know what you had to do? You had to wait each week for the show to be on every Wednesday at 6 or whatever, or 7, whatever time it is. No, you know how many people don't watch regular over-the-air TV? And what I'm talking about when I say over-the-air, I mean like regular antenna TV, right? The stuff that comes through that you don't have to pay for, subscription or anything like that. That's not a thing. That's not a thing really anymore. It is for some people, but most of the time people are streaming all that. It's amazing to think about that. All of the things that have changed and all of the new vocabulary we have compared to 20 years ago. So I would love for you to be able to join the conversation. Just to give you kind of a refresh here. A couple things that we have. Sue says, I'm going to order DoorDash. TikTok trends. Sue says, the 90s, don't be strangers off the internet and don't get in strangers' cars. 2022. Orders for, yeah. Orders a ride from a stranger on the internet. Hashtag Uber. Hashtag Lyft. Yep, absolutely. Hashtag is another thing that we say now. And we don't even really say that anymore now. Honestly, that was really hot probably 4 years ago. And now it's kind of like, we still use them for different things because it's a great way to tag things, but don't do it a whole lot. All right, so let's go through a couple more of the responses. We've got a few more here since. These are great. Love Ashley's. Now hiring $500 sign-on bonus. We mean $1,000 sign-on bonus. Still hiring $1,500 sign-on bonus. So true. Ashley, that's amazing. That was hilarious. I love it. Things that we say now that we didn't say 20 years ago. Trust me, I'm a politician. I don't think we've ever said that. It's great. Lynn, please social distance at least 6 feet. Yeah. Brian says swipe left, dating apps. Those are good too. Those are really good. And then Jay says, I worked overtime. Things we say today that we didn't say 20 years ago. I don't know. I feel like I've worked overtime my entire life. Have I got paid for it? No. But I feel like every day is overtime. So great answers there. All right. What about you? What have you got for your answer? What things do we say now that would not make any sense 20 years ago? As an example, calling an Uber, using Google Maps, just a few things. Siri, Alexa, who are these people? Who named their kid Siri, right? You can't be serious. You're welcome. And that's my tab of terrible jokes. All right, so we're going to wrap our conversation up here in about 3 minutes on air, but it's been a real good one. I would love for you to be able to join and comment here as we're trying to figure out what are some things that we say now that if we were to take that same phrase, that same sentence, that same name, take that back 20 years ago, the people 20 years ago would look at us like, what is this person thinking? Another great example. Oh, yeah, I need one of those. Tell you what, I'll order it on Amazon. You're going to go to the rainforest and expect to find this? You are nuts. You're crazy. That'll never happen. Right? So that's another good one. Potterhead from Harry Potter. When did the first Harry Potter come out? Now you got me now I've got to Google it. Again, another thing that you couldn't say 20 years ago. Harry Potter. The book was in 97. Okay. 2001 was the first Harry Potter movie. And if you didn't know then, you know now. All right. That's another one too, is like thinking about all of the different classic lines from movies that you've seen, right? From years past. Sue was Googling too. Good job. Movie quotes, right? Movie quotes that we use now every day. You think about all the movies that have been made since 2002 that are, hilarious, that are our favorite movies from everybody now. And everybody uses it, like, or TV shows even, let's use this as an example here. 2005 is when The Office started, right? But how many times do you find people saying, that's what she said, right? That's what she said. That wouldn't make sense in 2002. I mean, it would still probably be hilarious, but it wouldn't be as funny because people wouldn't get the context with The Office. Sue's answer here too, bougie. Bougie. I couldn't spell that. I'm glad you did. I couldn't spell it to save my life. All right, here we go. Wrapping up our conversation on here. We're Southwest Michigan's 97.5 Y Country. I'm Matt Malone, and we are wrapping up our conversation topic today, asking you, what is something that we say now that would not make any sense 20 years ago? And we're going to go through a few more responses that are absolutely hilarious because they're so true at the same point. So we've got a few. I'm going to start from oldest to newest. Jay says, I worked overtime. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I've been saying that for a long time, personally. But that's a great answer. Lynn says, text me. Todd says, I'm going to have Instacart have her groceries delivered to the house in an hour. Insta who? What? Instagram, also not a thing, by the way, back in 2002. So that's a great answer, Instacart. And I always think with this, if we were to take this back and say this, do you think people would be like, oh, he's from the future? Does that mean that they're going to be able to teleport food to our house. Oh my gosh. Well, in a way, I mean, you're just going to have somebody else deliver it. That'd be pretty cool. We have Brian who says swipe left. Dating apps. There you go. Absolutely. Yeah. I'm just on a dating app. Oh, what? You have to go. You're going to take somebody out on a date for just appetizers? That's cool, I guess. Good luck on a second date if that's what you're going to do. We also have Lynn who says, and this is really funny because this is, again, more relevant here to the last 2 years. What she says, Lynn says, please social distance at least 6 feet. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. That was not a thing 20 years ago. People are still close talkers, like in Seinfeld, right? Ashley says, no hiring, $500 sign-on bonus. We mean $1,000 sign-on bonus. Still hiring, $1,500 sign-on bonus. Yes. A lot of sign-on bonuses. A lot of sign-on bonuses. I love Sue's response here, too. I voice texted it. Also, going along with that, autocorrect. Bum, bum, bum. Right? There you go. Great answers. We're wrapping up the conversation. Even though we're wrapping it up here, you can still go on Facebook and or Instagram and YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, all of those places, and you can keep the conversation going. 97.5 Y Country on all platforms. All right. That's a wrap. So, great answers, great conversation. I really appreciate you taking some time here to chat with us about this today. And we'll have another opportunity for you to join a conversation tomorrow. Now, what is it going to be tomorrow? It's a good question. I'm not sure. But I will keep you posted. Other than that, have a great rest of your day. I'll talk to you tomorrow. And think of more options. You can always come back and comment here. All right. See y'all.